Yo.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the new meta, episode 3.
Number 3.
I'm the ThaPChild.
It's always the best one, the sequel. 3, right? I'm Lord Fluffy.
There we go. So, how have you been, man?
Dude, yesterday I got like 2 fillings and a crown. It's like my head's throbbing, but I feel great.
Amazing. So you did a 24-hour stream yesterday?
No.
Didn't do it.
Oh, people are commenting about your background already.
I know, man. The background.
So
they're saying, listen, all right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this out there because last week I waited too long to talk about it. Every week, I'm letting my co-host here, actually he's on this side, I'm letting my co-host here pick my background.
It looks damn good.
I don't know, man. I've been okay up until this week, and I kind of feel like he did me a little dirty this week. Just
Hello
a little
Kitty?
bit. But I'll slide out of the way.
Doesn't love Hello Kitty? Come on.
I got a nice Hello Kitty background.
It's adorable.
But yeah. So, we'll see. I think maybe next week I might try to flip it. I think I'm going to pick his background next week. We'll see. I think he's scared to let me do that. We'll see. We'll see. But on to the good stuff.
Yes.
Let's talk about some good stuff.
Yes.
We got like the smallest piece of Diablo news we could possibly have gotten this week. We got end and start dates. For
Wow.
But that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
No PTR.
It literally looks like a copy paste from last season.
Yeah.
With new dates put in.
They're not even giving us usually if there's no changes at the very least they're like, well, come play PTR to do we're testing some performance changes or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And this time we're not even getting it.
Nothing. So I don't think the door is shut yet. I think the door is closed and a little light is creeping through the side because maybe there could still be some PTR during the off season, but I think the chances of that are less than 1%. It seems so small.
Yeah.
They didn't even tell us about the cosmetics or the pet. That's surprising to me.
See, I didn't even notice that because I never really care, but you're right.
Yeah. So Friday, they always announce the season end date on Fridays. And I thought, and I'm going off memory, and I never put it under the microscope this much because I've never cared this much because there's always a patch note.
Sure.
But this is so under the magnifying glass that I'm like, okay, let me read every little detail. There's no cosmetics. There's no pet announcement. So Fridays, they always usually announce the season end date. And then I thought the cosmetics and pet for the next season were included in that article. But I'm like, okay, well, they'll tell us Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. We don't know the cosmetic or the pet. So are we not going to get cosmetics and pets this season? I don't see how they could do that. I honestly don't see how they could not have a new portrait frame.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I mean,
but they can do that any time before the season starts. If
they don't have a portrait frame, there is literally nothing I can get from the season because I have max stash tabs.
Yeah. God, I hate that there's max stash tabs.
I know. Do I care about getting the seasonal journey if there's no rewards for it? No. I don't care about that.
Nope.
Do I care about getting on leaderboard again for another season? No, I don't care about that. I mean, it's so few people play that it's can you play a character class? You could probably get on leaderboard. At least this season feels extremely easy,
right?
Compared to season 3 or 4. I thought it was a lot of work back then to actually try to get top 1,000. And
someone just brought up a good point. There are data mine portrait frames out there, so it's just a matter of them throwing up a post.
Throwing up one, yeah. I've seen some of those. So, but why wouldn't they announce it?
Just busy with other shit.
Tell us you're busy with other shit,
right?
Say hey. I don't know. It's
transparency. We talk about it every week.
It goes back to just communication, man. There's no.
And it's not to be negative, but my concern, and I've said this kind of the first week, but they're going to reach a point where they've alienated their own community because we're so loyal. We're here. We're playing the game. We're passionate every week, and we don't get any communication from at some point people are gonna people might walk away from this game, and even if D4 is announced like 3 months from now, people would walk away and be like, you know what, I feel so like slighted by Diablo that I don't even care how good the game is. I'm not coming back.
So that was one of my, like 2 seasons ago in season 12 when they dropped 2.6.1. I was like, this is one of the best values I've ever purchased in my life. I was so positive on the game. I'm like, for 6 years, they have given us update after update for free. Then they came out with an expansion, whatever, $30, whatever it costs. I don't remember, $30-$40. And then they update that for 4 years with the Necro Pass that's optional. Next Necro DLC that was optional, But then this season started off, okay, we can take the same meta because they took care of bots, and bots were gone and this and that. And then bots came back. Mm-hmm. And it's the same. And I agree. I think they're alienating the community so bad. Once the rift gets big enough, it won't be able to close it.
Right.
And they're hurting sales for D4. They're alienating the community for D4. People are going to move on to other games. I can't even tell you how much PoE talk I get now. It's like, ooh.
Oh, I've always gotten PoE talk. I
always have too, but
at least.
But it's at an all-time high. It's like all the free games, Warframe, PoE, Fortnite, anything that's, one of the free-to-play games.
Right.
People are on that stuff, man. So.
For sure. And and PoE has pretty darn good communication with their own community.
A lot of games have figured that communication thing out.
Yeah.
I think Division being one of them. Right. Although I don't think the game's super popular at the moment.
Division 2 is coming, I think.
Division 2, I think, is going to do amazing.
Yeah.
If they can deliver on the promises that they've upkept so far. So, but let's talk about season 14 just a little bit.
Yeah.
We got rewards for season 14. We don't have really anything, but we do have some seasonal sets.
Yes.
So let's rank those real quick. It should be a repeat from season 10. Seems like we're on a cycle.
Yeah.
They haven't officially announced it, so I guess it could change. I don't expect it to. But if we go through and look at them, the Barbarian is going to get the Raykor set. What do you think?
Amazing. Best starter set for Barb.
It's top tier Barb.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the more difficult builds to play for a novice player.
Raykor Hoda? I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's harder than Immortal Kings. I'm not saying it's super challenging.
For sure.
But it's harder than Immortal Kings. Yeah. It's harder than Whirlwind. It's harder than Leap Quake.
Whirlwind pushing? I think that's quite difficult.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm saying when I talk about a novice player, I'm saying somebody that's trying to get 70 for the first time.
Right on.
Because that's a big milestone for a lot of people, believe it or not. And I know YouTubers and streamers and hardcores that play, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 hours of Diablo. A 70 to us is nothing. We're going to get 70 on the first day of the season or the second day of the season.
Right.
But I still have people in my chat that are like, I got my 70. I got 71 today. And that's awesome for them. I'm happy for them, man. That's like an achievement,
Sure.
So I think Raycor's is a little more challenging than.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. Like Raykor charged by amazing T13.
It's a great build.
Speed Hoda for Solaris, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
And then you've got the best push build for Barb is Raykor. So it's just like,
if I was going to ask for a free set for Barb, I would pick that one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I would go with. So, for Crusader.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Bots 1 hour into the season.
The Akan set is hot. It is my favorite set in the game. I have to admit, I love Condemned Crusader. I love it. There are some speed builds. Like I have a speed build that I run on stream. It is amazingly fun. It's like my crack Crusader. He runs around super fast. It's an amazing push build. One of the strongest pushing builds.
Yep.
You can do group play and carry people. If you have friends that don't play as much as you can carry them. It doesn't fit any of the metas, but it's an extremely strong build. A lot of fun. So someone
did like a 128 non-season.
Yes.
Condemn.
Yeah, I mean, what's the seasonal up to now? I think it was 122 or higher. Something. It's crazy high. Yeah. So it's a super powerful build.
But again, if we're looking at the flip side of that, it does mean that bots will be ready like 1 hour into the season and just firing off 24/7.
Yes. Yeah, we'll touch that.
Sure.
We'll touch that. But if your thing is you're not a hardcore player and the starting sets matter to you, in my personal opinion, I rank this as number 1, maybe number 2, depending on your classes. This is a really strong set.
This is number 1. I think this is number 1, period.
I would make a very small argument that Pestilence is a great push set, but unless
for starting out, I don't know.
Not for starting out, no.
Yeah.
But I'm saying unless you get lucky with the rolls and get amazing pieces, then the Econ garbage rolls is still going to get you 70 day 1.
Yeah.
As soon as you get it. Provided you can get the weapons.
Sure.
And then for the monk, we got Innas.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Innas? How do you feel about that?
I'm going to level with you. I'm not sure that I've ever played Innas. Ever.
It's been a long, long time for me since I've played it. I don't really have... That doesn't do anything for me. It's definitely not like, I'm going to play a monk to get that set. I could care less about that set.
Right.
And if I played a monk, I'm going to go for some Wukos anyways.
Yep.
I want Wave of Light. So to me, that's just a filler to a stepping stone to get Sun Wukos.
Which really sucks because I was thinking monk next season. I was like, fucking Innas.
But for somebody like us, it honestly doesn't matter that. But for somebody that's wanting to start off, that's not really.
It is nice. So season 12, it was like was it? What was it? It says it right here. Tragouls. Season 12 was Tragouls, which was great. Yep. Like probably arguably the best, or Rathma. But I was, we were firing off like crazy fast in season 12. And then season 13, was an Arias. And it was noticeably slower. Like we were not able to juice up, doing those
quite as fast.
GRs quite as fast.
It takes you a day or two to get that set you need.
It was,
for sure.
Yeah. It was like 4
hours. And it makes a
difference
on your Paragon. Like if you got like a cons this season, I'm telling you guys, when you start leveling and you're looking at leaderboards, in the first 4 hours, you're going to see Condemned Crusaders, the guys that get lucky and get a Furnace or a Blade of Prophecy instantly. Those guys are going to already be in 60, 70, as soon as they hit max level. It's crazy powerful.
Yeah.
It definitely is an advantage for them for the first couple days. And then Demon Hunter.
Marauder.
I'm mixed on Marauder. It's a very powerful set. I don't like the play style personally.
Yeah, I've never been a sentry person.
So the play style is drop sentries and dodge around and stay alive. Shoot things, let your sentries help you kill things and stay alive. And that's not a play style that appeals to me a whole lot. Some people love it though, so I don't want to knock it.
And it is powerful, and it was rank 1 last season, and there was really no bad set for a DH, but obviously for starting out of a season, Marauder is not the best. It's not as bad as Natalia. Well, actually, Natalia is faster for starting out than Marauder.
Yeah,
probably.
It's no UE,
right?
The Unholy Essence is obviously where you want to go, at least for the start of the season.
Good as well.
You could push. The thing with Demon Hunter is, like you said, all of the sets are decent, though.
Yeah.
You could play any of the sets and be competitive.
It's so nice for them.
And that's pretty cool. I wish they would bring all of the sets' power level up just a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like they're all a little bit underpowered compared to like Crusader or Necro. But they're all fun.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. Would you rather have all your sets doing like 115 and it's pretty darn even for DH, or would you rather have one build that is like 122 and nothing else even compares? I would rather have the 115.
You'd have to play that build. You'd be pigeonholed.
You're locked into that. Whereas
I would like to see them bring them all up.
Right.
Just a little.
Right.
I'm not a fan of nerfs. I never like nerfs. I don't ever want to see a class get nerfed. I want to see other classes get brought up.
Yeah.
I think that's the way the game should always be. Never nerf, always bring other classes up and just power creep forever.
Yeah, and people hate that, right? Like, it's such a weird thing. Like, people on the internet hate the power creep, or even the term power creep, but it's such a positive thing for the game.
You have to have it. You have to have it.
Like,
and then if they want to, like when a patch like 2.6.1 hit, if they wanted to, they could have reset everything to lower the power creep again. Okay, like, all right, guys, we're going to reduce all damage by 100% across the board. And people would have been a little upset, but that resets that power creep. Like World of Warcraft has done it, where they do number squishes,
right? Stat squish.
And things like that. Number squish. They could number squish Diablo a little bit. But I'm a fan of bringing things up. So I would like to see all of the Demon Hunters brought up a little bit, and I would like to see a couple of the other sets for other classes brought up just a little bit, like Inarius, for example. Right. I think Inarius is probably one of the weaker builds class sets in the game. You know, I haven't spent a lot of time playing it because it was weak, so I instantly moved away from it. But I like to see it brought up.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychology behind the power creep. Like, even a player that maybe can't put in the hours that, well, most of the elite population can, or whatever. Like, so they do a GR 100, and they walk away feeling accomplished or whatever. And then 2 seasons later, they did a little power creep, and even though they're not putting any more time, like, they still feel like they might have accomplished more. Which, I mean, it keeps players in the game. So, like, it's all about keeping population.
Yeah, and like, you never want that player, that casual player, or even the hardcore player. You never want that player to log in the next day, and instantly he's less powerful than he was the day before. Right. That feels bad. I don't care who you are. If you're casual or hardcore, that feels bad. And some games do that, and it's noticeable. You're like, man, I was having so much fun yesterday, and now, like, why am I playing this? This feels bad.
And someone just brought something up in the chat. Side tangent, but a lot of people are talking about T15.
Yep.
Don't do it, Blizzard, because in my opinion, T13 should just be like, you do whatever you want. Like, a lot of builds are going to work in T13, especially the higher Paragon you can basically run whatever you want. Have a little fun. It's T13. It's not that serious. If you scale it up to T15, you're locking people in to exactly what you're playing in GRs. Like, just, if that's not a fun way to play, and that's what we had before, don't do that again. Just keep it T13. It's
T13
fine.
is your casual. That's your sit back, relax, blow stuff up, collect your loot.
Like,
play with your buddies, have a good time.
I want to play Blood Nova. Well, it sucks. If it's T15, it would suck. If it's T13, it works.
It's like, I play Explosive Blast Wizard. It's a shit build. It's not good. It's not top tier, but it's fun. And I can go to T13s and smash it, and it's a good time. I agree with that. I think if you want to continue to push up, creator rifts are infinite, maybe. Right. People are maybe saying they cap at 150. I don't know. Nobody's gotten it, so I don't know. But they're infinite scaling, to my knowledge. So that's, if you want to push higher, you have that. Right. You have that mechanism, that game mechanic right there. Do it. You don't need the T13. I'm in agreement.
Yeah, GR, it's time to get serious. T13, it's whatever.
Exactly. I'm with you.
I don't agree with the T15 comment.
The Desleray is for the wizard.
Delseer? Is it Desleray?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't pronounce things. If you haven't figured it out. I don't know.
Who cares? DMO.
Delseer, Desleray,
no,
Magnum Opus.
It's fine.
DM. That's a fun build. It's a lot of people, like, I have some community members that love it, and they live and die by it. It plays, in my opinion, very similar to a UE Demon Hunter. It's a glass cannon, distance, blow things up kind of style of build. Am I speaking that with Frozen Orb? Is that, I haven't played it in a long time, or is that the slow time bubble one?
It's the slow time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like an arcane, the Orbit one, that it's not near as powerful as Frozen Orb, but it's pretty fun. It's very tanky, but it's not near as powerful.
I don't have a lot of experience with it. It's not something that I've played a lot, so I think it's viable to get you going on a wizard.
Sure.
Tal Rasha's is what you want to start with. I mean, as a starter build,
Fear.
Firebirds
Would be
takes gear to pull off. You're not tanky enough, at least to start. Talrash's is a lot better starting, and then as you transition, you can move into Firebirds if you want to push higher. But it's not bad. It's a fun set. So,
Wish Doctor. Can we just skip this?
Zuni Masas.
Big Daddy's done like some work with Zuni this season. He's done like a 110 or something.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played a Witch Doctor ever. I mean, I actually leveled one this season to do Firebats 4-man metas just to replace the Star Pack Wizard for fun. It's never been a class that I've really wanted to play that much. So the only 2 builds that I've really played on a Witch Doctor that I can remember, I guess I played 3. The 4-man meta Firebats Witch Doctor, I played that a couple seasons when it was the thing. But that's all I played. I never played it solo. It was okay.
Zuni was kind of like DOD. I'm surprised they didn't buff DOD back up. Dagger of Darts. I'm not sure if you ever like the fetishes.
Yeah.
That was really a Zuni thing. My favorite Witch Doctor build of all time was when they had Helltooth like firewall with the cold acid cloud. That was dope. That was my favorite Witch Doctor build. That was a fun one.
The Gargantuan pet build was fun-ish, kind of.
Yeah.
And then Chicken Doctor. I actually like the T13 Chicken Doctor spec where you run around as a chicken and let your Gargantuan just kill everything.
Sure.
You blow stuff up. That's fun to me. I'm going to find out a lot more about Witch Doctor. I know I've said it before.
Make sure you do the research because I'm never gonna.
Yeah. I'm going to play it a little bit this season. If we don't get any balance patch changes, I'm going to play it. And we'll see how long I can stick it out. I might fall in love with it. Who knows? I haven't played it very much. So that's going to be my saving grace this season is that I haven't played a Witch Doctor in so long that it will feel almost like the character DLC for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, I haven't played this class. Let's try it out.
Finally, Pestilence, Necro. That's
good for pushing.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to do some stuff in the non-season. I think there's a way that we can make it a pretty fantastic starter set, but I still think like Traghouls and Rathma are just their best for starting. Especially Rathma because it puts you right in the rats.
You're going to be on cooldown timer on Pestilence. Like the faster you can get your cooldowns up, the faster you can clear the rifts.
Yeah.
Is the only way I can see that working.
I have a couple ideas, but yeah.
So it's going to be tons of CDR to try to get that set working, but it will definitely destroy things. It's just how fast is it going to destroy things? You know, you could probably, you have the basic starter set. You can probably clear, 10 rift level difference in about the same amount of time.
Right.
Because it's not about how fast you kill the elites. It's about how fast your cooldowns come back up. So.
Right. And we'll see on that. I'll do a lot of work before
the season starts.
Right. I got some juice. It's coming.
Check it out. We'll check out the juice. It's coming.
Yeah. Starter sets.
But that's my starter sets. Man, that Akan Crusader.
The strength classes this season. They got the juice.
I love Crusader, man. It's really hard for me not to roll a Crusader.
The problem with Crusader for me is like you better love Condemn because that's what you're gonna play. Get ready.
Yeah, you have to play it for sure.
I'm not loving that.
Yeah, but that's the starter sets, guys. I don't know. You guys can pick what you want to pick. Zuni Masas. I'm gonna have to do some Zuni Masas research and see, how it goes. Off season, I'll make one and we'll try it out.
Yep. Zuni's card. Yeah.
With these nice sets they're going to give us, we're going to push leaderboards to greater heights. All new heights on leaderboards this season. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about leaderboard pushing in general?
I mean, I've been playing a Necro for 3 seasons now. And pushing on a Necro it's not fun. It's not the funnest thing you can do. Which is so unfortunate because like speed farming on a Necro is so much fun. And I'm not talking about rat runs. I'm talking about solo farming. Like it's crazy, crazy fun. So it's unfortunate that our only option is Cold Lance. And it's incredibly frustrating to play. But I mean, a lot of push builds are incredibly frustrating to play.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with everything, though. Like when you're pushing, when you start getting to the upper edge of your skill or your equipment or your Paragon cap, which I think all three play a factor in that.
Sure.
But when you start to hit that cap for you or your character, it becomes such a fish. Like last night, for example, I was pushing on the Crusader, and I'm far from the best Crusader in the world, but I'm doing okay. And I'm to the point where I have to get a Battlefields or Act 4 or one of these open rift types with high density, a conduit with several packs of elites. And then once I get those things, I have to get the Rift Guardian.
Right.
You know? But that's what pushing is. So
right. And then, yeah, and this is, I mean, what could they do? I mean, I feel like
that's my point.
Right. They need to, there needs to be like, so you're fishing, like you jump into Rift and you're like, oh, nope, not that map. But it'd be cool if there's like maybe some kind of reward system where like you give it a shot. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
I'm not sure how that would work out. Like you're in it for 5 minutes and you're within like a minute of the time or something like that. Like you get some kind of reward. I don't know. But
I mean, you still technically get your reward for clearing it.
Well, yeah, you would.
Still get loot.
But if you get like if we're talking about the highest echelon of what you're capable of pushing, and you get a map with mobs that are just like, that's a guaranteed death. You can't stay in there. Yep. Like you're just gonna die for half an hour and you're wasting your time.
Right.
So it'd be
that's
really,
my thing.
Yeah. I
don't know what rewards they could give you. Like there has to be, if it weren't challenging, there would be no cap. You would just continuously go. Right. I think to me, the frustrating part of it isn't the push, it's the fishing of the rift. It's like I have to have this tile set with this mob type and a pylon. You know, it's like I would like to see the tile set get eliminated from that somehow. Maybe balance the amount of timer you get.
That'd be really nice if they could just balance. Like if
any
map you saw, you're like, yeah, cool. Map. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, like map shouldn't matter.
Right.
But it does. It makes such a difference. And I can't imagine any class that doesn't like an open rift. I mean, they all have to like an open rift. You know, density changes from class to class. But when you're trying to drag the fatty elites through doors versus an open rift where you can just group it all up, it's that's my biggest complaint. I think tile sets can get balanced somehow. I don't know how to do it. I don't have an idea.
Right.
But I would like to see that.
I think at the very least, there needs to be something for like front page, like some kind of reward, some kind of cosmetic, something.
I would take it a step higher. Like leaderboard is there. It's the leaderboard. You're the top 1,000. Right. I don't know how many players play anymore, but you're top 1,000. Mm-hmm. That's something to me. I mean, I don't know. To a lot of people, it's something.
Sure.
The rewards don't have to be equal all the way down.
No, I'm not.
But if you make leaderboard, get a portrait frame. Get a special portrait frame.
It should be something.
If you make top 500, maybe it has an extra star,
right,
or an extra color. Top 100, juice it up a little bit.
Right.
Like StarCraft, for example, has your bronze, silver, gold, diamond. You know, all those different tiers. Pass out emblems based on that tier. You know,
for sure.
I think that would be a start in the right direction. And that's cosmetic. It doesn't affect power. It doesn't,
nothing.
Doesn't affect anybody. And it incentivizes like, man, I really want to get
because
500. I want to get 490,
almost
501.
Like imagine they had one for rank 1 and like you're rocking that no matter what in the future. Like, I was rank 1. This is my rank 1.
You know,
picture frame. Like that's dope.
Yeah. And they had that. That was like, so like World of Warcraft had something like that. You had your gladiator drakes. You know, if you got gladiator in arena, you got that season's gladiator drake. And if you're out in the world PvP and you see a dude on that drake, you know he's going to fuck you up. Like you already know this guy can play, and StarCraft kind of had the same thing with their emblems. So I think that would be a step in the right direction.
For sure. The dream.
It'd be cool. I would never get the rank 1. So I don't, and I'm not even saying that from a personal standpoint, like, oh, I'm so good at the game, I want this emblem. Like I'm top 200 most seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm lucky, I'll be top 100. So
I mean, if they had Paragon cap, I think that would change.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit, for sure.
I'm saying right now, I'll be rank 1 Paragon cap. You kidding me?
Rank 1. Do it, man.
I would love it. But I don't. So, but I don't necessarily agree with the Paragon cap. It's just I know that especially as a mostly solo player, my 1.7 Paragon is not going to compare to that 4K guy. Like, it's just not even fair.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
But I actually would love to, so we do this thing where we tweet out, ask your questions. I would actually love if you guys had ideas for any kind of incentives they could add to GRs, if you guys would tweet at us. I'm actually curious if anyone has any good ideas.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I ask that in stream often, and I am very curious. If you guys are listening to this podcast on iTunes or Google Play or YouTube, wherever you're listening, get a hold of us, man. Tell us your ideas. Tweet Blizzard in that too. Let us know.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too late to influence Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But probably. I definitely think that our feedback could influence Diablo 4.
Yeah.
And
they're in here. All the devs they're watching right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They texted me earlier before we started.
Oh, you too?
They're like, yo, what time are you going? 10 o'clock. So what about COE? What's your thoughts on COE?
See, as a mechanic, is that really enjoyable for anyone? So every push build.
So let's explain what COE, in case we have some people that don't know what I'm talking about. Okay.
So it's basically, every class has a certain range of elements that they can have. For Necro, it's actually pretty nice because we only have physical, cold, poison, which is kind of OP actually. But
yes,
it loops through your elements, and then when you're on the element that your build's doing damage on, you get 200% bonus damage. But
it's a ring. It's a ring that you can put on, or you can cube it, and that damage multiplier cycles.
Yeah.
Every build only uses one type of damage.
Right.
Your main damage is going to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
So for this brief 4-second window, you're doing 200%.
Which is such a boring play style to wait for a buff on your bar to circle to the element of your choice.
Okay. As a playstyle mechanic, I don't mind it that much. I think it's become, there are a couple items in the game that are too powerful and you always have to use them. COE is one of those to me.
It's kind of like the new
Trap Bane of a Trapped is the other. What build doesn't have Bane of the Trapped?
Right.
Every push build has Bane of the Trapped because it's so powerful. You have to have it.
It'd be so awesome, and this is another tangent, but it'd be so awesome if the legendary gems were all of them are good, and you're like fuck, man, I really want these 3. This is the hardest thing I've had to decide all day.
Yeah.
If it's I just want this one, but I don't have room for it. Can you imagine if it was a hard choice to pick your legendary gems, but it's not.
The only choice you ever have is powerful or stricken. That's it. It's powerful or stricken. I mean, there are some choices. Right? Some builds, can vary between, do I want to take more survival or more toughness, or do I want to take more damage? But convention of elements in itself, I think, is a mechanic that you almost always have to rely on, just like Bane of the Trapped, and I don't like that. But not only that, my biggest beef with it, my biggest problem, is you can't manipulate your interface, so you can't actually put it on the screen where you want it to be on the screen, so you can see it easily. There's no timer, there's no add-ons, you can't move it. It's just down on your buff bar. I would like to move it and make it and put it in a different spot. At least if I'm forced to use it, let me move it. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, the buff bar is certainly better than it was.
Yes.
Once upon a time, but
at least they put bars up and let you see things.
It kind of reminds me of some dumb WoW mechanic. It's just you're kind of pigeonholed to this one window where I get to do all my DPS. That's just not really a fun play style. A lot of builds are I got this proc, now I can really go ham.
Now I can do my damage.
And it's just I mean, I guess I feel every class had some unique way of doing that, and it wasn't just a cross class ring, it'd be more interesting. But Seaweed is pretty dull.
Yeah, I could see it. I would just like to see other things get buffed up to take its spot.
Yeah,
personally, but it is a mechanic. I mean, the alternative is something like Furnace, where it's like, okay, you're required to use Furnace because it's 50% elite damage.
right, and that's what we saw for the longest time.
Yeah, and you don't notice it. So pick your poison, I guess. I don't know. What would you?
Get shot a bunch of times and bleed out, or get shot in the head. Are those my only two options?
Those are my only two options. But it's I think this circles back to the lack of seasonal changing in season and metas. If there were PTR notes and things got changed constantly a little bit more than what they did, like things like Furnace or Sea, where you could get focused, and then we played it for one season, cool. Next season, it's a different build that maybe doesn't focus on that. So
yeah.
Kind of leads us into our next topic, which is, seasonal changes in balancing. Are they, did we get like an unannounced maintenance mode? Do you think that they're putting Diablo into maintenance mode? Like it's on the shelf?
I don't know. Like no one knows. So it's just speculation. I say time after time, like it would be such a shame, like to walk away from it at this point, when 2.6.1 was like the greatest patch ever.
If we pull a calendar up, 2.6.1 came out in late October, early November. I'm not 100% sure when it dropped. I think it was late October. By the time this season ends, it's going to start June 15th, and we put 3 months out, so July, August, September. And then if it goes another week or we get a 2-week window, we could be in October. We could be at 11 to 12 months of the exact same balance changes. That they never said, hey, guys, this is kind of the final hurrah. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it. I think it might be dumb on their part to say that this is it. Maybe they're kind of like, we can't really say that because we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We'll let them figure it out on their own.
Sure. I could see that.
But man, if you go to the battle.net forums or Reddit, specifically the battle.net forums, I was looking it up posts today. There were 600. I looked at the first 600 posts. There was 50 posts a page. The first 600 posts, there were 5 blue replies on 600 posts. The replies were, where do I find keystones? Somebody answered that.
That's nice.
My motherboard's not working right.
Okay.
Somebody answered that. Are blues still here? And the reply was yes.
Elites or items?
No, blues. Like our blues, like blue posts. Blues are referred to as the moderators.
Gotcha.
Blues are referred to as the moderators on the Blizzard forum.
Yeah.
So blue posts.
Yeah.
And then one was about bans, which is kind of interesting. And then where do I get enchanting reagents? So of all the blue posts, there was one useful one in 600 posts. And this is it. You pulled it up. For those who are listening, you can't see it. But basically, a blue employee addressed botters. Kind of. I mean, I don't want to be negative on this.
Sure.
Because I think that's a big problem. But I'm going to read the highlighted text, which is what I think they were trying to highlight. They highlighted text in white. This is not me. This is what they did. They say, we are here, we have been, and we will continue to be dedicated to combating cheating in our games as well as upholding our TOS. Okay.
When are you doing that?
Season 13, they tried for 3 weeks.
They sure did. It was nice 3 weeks. It was a fun 3 weeks.
Other than that, there have been some ban waves.
Yeah. Season 4?
Yeah, season like years ago.
8?
That's an interesting read to me. That's all. I don't know what to say about it. The interesting part to me was that they said they have an email set up. What's that email there? Do you have that pulled up where you can see it in the article? think it's the second
Hacks
paragraph.
at blizzard.com.
Hacks at blizzard.com.
If you suspect someone is botting, please do feel free to report them to hacks at blizzard.com. It's always great for us to have
I did not know that
more
was a
information.
thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
I didn't know that was a thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I think I hope that they do more. Like if season 14 comes and they find a way to break the bots again, at least for the start of the season, man, that first month is glorious with no bots. You know,
it was really.
It
nice,
was this season. It was nice, man. The leaderboards represented actual real people,
right.
and it was cool.
That was cool.
I hope they do that again. So I really hope that reply is sincere.
Yeah.
So there were some other announcements that were non-Diablo related.
Yeah.
Some of them are Activision related a little bit, though. We'll get into that.
Yeah. That was actually very surprising.
But let's talk about the Fortnite one. Because I know most of the people here have probably at least heard of Fortnite.
Sure. So basically the big announcement, and this is, I mean, if you follow esports at all, this is crazy.
This is huge.
Epic Games will provide $100 million for esports.
100 million, guys.
Fortnite esports prize pools.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I read this headline, you know the first thing that popped into my head?
What?
If they can shell out $100 million,
oh my God, they are,
how much money
are they stupid?
Are they making?
It's insane.
How much money are they making if they can shell out $100 million for tournaments?
Like,
I mean, are they making $100 billion a year?
They've got to be.
What are they?
Can you remember?
What are they doing?
We talked about this before, but like, I cannot remember a time in gaming history that a game has done
this popular.
Like, this is insane.
This shit's bigger than Mario. Like, you know, when you were a kid, everybody talked about Mario. This is big. It's got to be bigger.
This is the next level, man. It's crazy.
Like, people, I have adults that I work with that are close to retirement age, okay? That don't know, they probably know a Mario, but they've probably never heard of Sonic. You know? They know what Fortnite is. They've heard of Fortnite. You know? 100 million. That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
And here's a post to put that in perspective. So this is all the prize money from 2017 for all the games, the top 16 games in esports.
Right.
And that total pool is 100 million. And
right. All of them combined is 100.
Yeah.
They're going to double that down. That just shows you how much money they're making. They're making hand over fist.
Right. I was actually surprised that League was so far down the list. Like, those,
and you know what? And World of Warcraft isn't even on the list. Doesn't World of Warcraft hold tournaments?
Yeah. I mean, they're on the list. They're just not in the top 16.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
Yeah.
So, but interesting. So that kind of leads us into the next thing. I'm kind of going to jump topics slightly, but Blizzard announced, this was on GameSpot. GameSpot had an article that Blizzard made $4 billion in microtransactions last year. That's a B, guys. $4 billion in microtransactions. That's just microtransactions. That doesn't count game sales.
Right. Which games do you think are really is going to be Overwatch, right?
They announced I read the article, and so surprisingly, 2 billion of that is from King Games, which is Candy Crush.
Oh,
mobile games. Mobile games is 2 billion, right? Jeez. There are a lot of people out there that love Candy Crush, I guess. 2 billion.
Wow.
Activision Blizzard accounted for 1 billion of that, I believe. So Hearthstone and Overwatch was whatever Activision might include the other Call of Duty titles. I didn't see the exact separation, but it was 4 billion. But the point of the article is that over half of that, 2 billion, this is just Activision. This isn't EA. This isn't, other game publishers. Sure. Microtransactions are for real. Like, that kind of money is going to drastically change things. And the reason that this is kind of important to we're mainly a Diablo stream or a podcast, is Activision and Blizzard are making Diablo 4. And if you don't think microtransactions are going to be in Diablo 4, you're crazy.
If
microtransactions are going to be in everything that ever releases ever from history on.
I mean, I would hope so. Jesus. If Diablo 4 came out and it didn't have microtransactions, they'd be like, well, here we go again.
Rip Diablo 4. Yep, no support. It's definitely going to have them. But the question is, Blizzard's pretty good about it. Like Overwatch kind of set the standard for loot boxes, I think. I think Overwatch was the first game that I was like, they kind of got it right. You can play your ass off and earn them to get the shit you want. Or if you don't have much playtime and you got deep pockets, you can buy them. Pick which one you want to do. I'm more the play and earn kind of guy. Because if I buy it, it doesn't feel the same to me. It's like, oh, I didn't earn that, so it's not as cool, you know? But if people buy them, I don't care. That's your money. Spend it how you want.
Yeah, I mean, the loot boxes, like, yeah, you can people can dump a ton of money in that. I think Fortnite's done a really smart thing as well, where they kind of put the cosmetics like on a rotation. So like, you only have access to get that cosmetic for like a 2-day window. And so like, you got to buy it, because if you don't, you might never see it again. And so that really like forced people into like, ooh, I want that pickaxe.
And they also do that season pass thing where you want to give them $10 every 2 months or 3 months. I'm not sure exactly how long they last.
To get more rewards.
To get those cosmetics for that season.
Yeah. It's smart.
But if you don't like the cosmetics that season, or let's say you're going out of town, you're traveling a lot, you don't have game time, you don't have to buy it. You know, you're not missing out on anything. I agree. But I just thought that was interesting, because you're seeing that $4 billion number, and it's like, oh, there's no way that Diablo 4 is not going to have microtransactions forever.
Right.
So, and then the last Activision thing, COD. I'll let you have this one, man. This is your thing.
Call of Duty. You know what? Let's just play the clip. Let's just play the clip, because it's a little ridiculous.
Okay. All right, play this clip. Let's hear it. Let's see it.
This is something totally new.
It's not that new.
This is doing
Our people that can't see it, describe it to them. What are we looking at?
This is Blackout.
So this is some guy screaming, and he actually turns around and he bows to the camera. But you think at this point, when you see that, ThaPChild, do you think that there's gonna be a trailer, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Because they cut to black.
I mean, it sounded like a trailer,
right? And so here we go. Boom! You're like, wow. Blackouts. Blackouts 4. But that's it. No trailer.
Wait, hold on. Keep playing. There's a trailer. There's got to be a trailer here, right?
There's they go on.
You're just gonna pause the video and lie?
Like, that's it.
No, see, he paused the video, chat. There's a trailer there.
There's no trailer.
Wait, there's no trailer.
There's literally no trailer.
I've actually seen this video. There's legit no trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to me,
and well, tell people what that is.
So
What's Blackout?
Okay. Blackout is, battle royale games are kicking off like the crazy. That's what Fortnite is. That's what PUBG is. H1Z1. And now COD is going to jump into that realm.
Battle royale.
That battle royale realm. And as another note, which is kind of brings us all back in, Activision Blizzard is hosting it on Battle.net for the PC, which is huge, which is I think big news, because I mean, they're probably helping them out, because there's no way that COD's like, 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they started designing Black Ops 4, they thought about Battle Royale. I guarantee you they didn't. This is a very last minute, like, shit, we got to jump on that gravy
Fortnite
train.
Money.
Yeah.
They saw that Fortnite money, and they're like, billions? Oh my God, we're getting in on this.
So this is like very, very fast
if you didn't know, guys, we are the first team to break the news. Diablo 3 developers are now making Call of Duty Blackout. That's why we don't have patch notes, is because they've sucked them all into Call of Duty.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're helping them out. And then the other big thing to this, in my opinion, is usually that's kind of Blizzard's thing. They take something that's really popular and they throw a bunch of money at it, like a game genre, and they come out with their own, and it does well. And I think that this is kind of like, this shows that, okay, maybe they're not going to make their own Battle Royale game. They're just like,
I don't think they.
Yeah. And so this would be like their Battle Royale. And so
I think they're trying to turn the Blizzard launcher into. I think Activision is trying to tap into Blizzard's fan base and use it, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I love Destiny, so I was happy when Destiny came to it. I was excited. But if you're not a Destiny fan, I imagine you're probably like, really? This is kind of crappy. And me not being a Call of Duty fan, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But that being said, if the game is amazing, if it's amazing and it's something that I get into, I'm going to love that it's on the Battle.net launcher. Because all my friends are there. I can talk to people while they're playing WoW. I can talk to people while they're playing Diablo and still be playing that game.
Right.
So
the only thing, my only thing is, you can't hide games from the Battle.net launcher, which is terrible.
Yep. I actually tried to hide COD too.
Yeah. But like when it gets to the point, like right now it's fine because like there's not a lot of overlap. Like StarCraft 2, StarCraft 3 like kind of overlap. Like, I mean, like in game genres, like, so everything on the Battle.net is like it's its own genre, really. And so right now it's fine, but like say they keep bringing on all these games and like they have all these overlapping titles, and I think it's like, ugh.
They're cannibalizing. They're cannibalizing their own community, I think, because Blizzard gamers are loyal to Blizzard games. Most Blizzard gamers play more than one Blizzard game. Like, I can't really think of anybody that strictly plays only Diablo or only WoW. Most people have dabbled in both a little bit, or Overwatch or something. And I think COD doesn't fit that genre too well. So we'll see how it plays out. But back to the COD Blackout.
One more thing. This was interesting too, that they like took time out to do this, and this enrages me.
Let's just get something out of the way. Are you guys ready?
Let's get something out of the way.
Can you thrust jump?
Can you thrust jump? No. Like they made this big press event about it.
Yeah, can you thrust jump? Can you
stupid boots on the ground, man? I almost turned this whole thing off after they said that, because it's like, man, boots on the ground again. Here we go. But
I'm a Halo Destiny fan, so I like the jump. I like the things.
Additional movement is more skill, more fun.
I'm not going to play it either way, probably, unless the Battle Royale portion is just amazing. Unless it's just the best thing ever, I probably won't play it. So not a big deal to me. It would be cool to be able to hide it from the Battle.net launcher, though.
I'm going to play it. That's for sure. There's no question.
Yeah. But that's,
Sure.
It's interesting, man. It's interesting.
It is. It's big gaming news for like 2017. Really wasn't
gaming news is crazy.
Gaming news year.
I mean, there were so many things that we could have even brought up that won't be relevant next week, but like the numbers from God of War were staggering. Like God of War is the fastest selling Sony exclusive ever. It was the fastest selling game in April history. Like it broke all these records, and Fortnite's dropping that 100 million, Blizzard or Activision to 4 billion. Like all this stuff that's hitting is it's a good time to be a gamer, man. I don't know if gaming's becoming more accepted or people are just becoming more irresponsible and spending all their money on video games. I don't know, but it's a good time to be a gamer for sure. You want to hit some Twitter questions real quick?
Let's do it.
We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to handpick some of the ones that I picked out. So if I don't get yours, I apologize. I'm going to start with the first one. This is from Fortune, and Fortune says, any quality of life changes you would like to see in Diablo 3?
The biggest one, I might have brought it up last week, I don't remember, but is like if on the leaderboard, if it just had like, so if you're cleared on Pestilence, it just had like a P6, a column that said P6. So you don't have to inspect every hero.
Inspect so you can see their sets. Yeah. I think we get asked this question every week. I think this is a huge topic that people like to hear about. For me personally, and this is just laziness, I would love my pets to pick up mats.
I would love that. Everyone wants that.
I hate picking up Death Breath and yellow and blues.
Yeah.
You could auto destroy yellows and blues too. That'd be cool.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have to salvage them.
Yeah. Yeah. Blizzard's come out and said that they don't really want to like get rid of the clickiness.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would ever do that.
They would just think fingers have feelings, guys. That's all I'm saying. Like Blizzard hates fingers because look at how they designed Devour.
Right. Or just
It's
a lot of
almost like
skills.
It
would be so easy to implement an in-game numlock. Like just like
we'll talk
hold
about that.
right click on this.
We'll talk about
Ugh.
that next week because I could rant on Devour for at least a solid 10 minutes. I could give that 10 minutes of my life. Rammer Jammer says, would you pay money for more stash space? Of course. And how much would you pay per tab?
I think 5 is fair.
$5
a tab.
So there's 5 per page. Are you talking about the 5 individual little tabs or 5 per column?
Individual. 5.
Each individual little one, $5.
Yeah, let's give those Diablo developers a bonus. Get them some
pockets,
money.
This guy over here is deep pockets, man.
Oh, I mean, it's obviously a server
I would
thing.
I would pay 10 to 50. I would probably spend up to $20 and buy whatever that would get me. And then I'd probably spend another 20 a month later. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't. If they didn't limit it, I don't know where I would stop, honestly. So, because I'm a hoarder. Elemental Burn says, do you think we're going to get another playable class DLC? If so, what would you want that to be?
I mean, I think if we did get another one, it would be Druid.
I agree. And if we did get another one, I think Druid would be fun and interesting. The shape-shifting aspect could be manipulated so many different ways.
For sure.
It could be a instant switch, and then you just completely change play style. It could have a cooldown. It could have. There's so many infinite possibilities with that. So that's what I would pick personally.
Right. If you could bring over though, like let's just go one step further. If you could just bring an entirely new class, some class that exists out there to Diablo, what would it be?
Oh man, do you have one in mind? Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me yours. Why I think about mine.
Death Knight, Shadow Knight, whatever. Which one of those two?
Death Knight, Shadow Knight. Okay. So you want a heavy hitting melee class, huh?
That's dark, towards the dark end. It's like a Necro that's melee. More melee.
Something. So Wizard is powerful to me, but I want stronger spellcaster. I want like some pure elemental, I want just a pure embodiment of magical power. I don't even care if they can look humanish, but if they're translucent, that's cool. I don't know if that would really consist as a class. That might be a little too outlandish for Diablo, but that's my answer. Kratos says, how do you feel about having to fish greater risk? We kind of talked about that. I'm going to skip that one. Gavin Dent says, would you main a witch doctor for 6 months if you got double the vault space? But
did we have this one? I feel like we had this one.
Did we have this one last week?
Yeah.
I might have accidentally read this one again.
I just remember
play
it
that witch doctor? Would you? That's all you could play for 6 months. Would you play it? I think the questions got messed up last week.
Yeah. No. I mean,
no?
I wouldn't play Necro for 6 hours. Are you kidding?
6 months, you could only play Necro, or you can only play Witch Doctor. For double vault space, I would do it. I would bite that bullet.
No way.
24 tabs? 24 tabs?
Not worth.
Crazy. Lady Giggles asked, a Necro, a Barb, and a Demon Hunter walk into a bar.
Lady Giggles.
What happens next?
What
happens
next? What was it? What was the setup?
A Necro, a Barb, and a Demon Hunter walk into a bar. What happens next?
The Necro tells the DH hey, remember when you were the Rift Guardian killer? Sucker.
Oh.
Get out of here.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm going to say the Barb gets white boy wasted and starts tearing the bar up. The Demon Hunter is going to sip on something girlish over in the corner, minding his own business.
Girlish.
And the Necro is I just always picture Necros as jerks. He's just going to sit there and be an ass.
Is that because I'm
So they're all going to have a good time at parties. Huh?
Is that because I mostly play a Necro? Is that what you what you're saying?
So next question. Silent Assassin says, what guilty pleasure TV show do you enjoy most that you might be embarrassed to admit?
Oh man, I'll tell it. Yeah, straight up. So I like the MTV challenge, like the real world versus road rules.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I actually don't love the drama, but it's cool to like see them go to like cool places and do like crazy challenges and like think about like what would I would do in that situation. Like that's cool. But the drama is stupid. But like
I can see that. I can see you liking that for some reason. That doesn't sound
again.
surprising.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
My wife loves those shows, like the Road Rules and the Challenge and the. Isn't there another one? Isn't
Real
like
World?
3? Yeah, Real World. She loves all those. So I've watched a fair bit of those, and they're interesting sometimes.
Yeah.
For me personally, I kind of have two. So one is The Voice. I love The Voice. Like that's
Who are the judges? Like who are the judges on The Voice? I don't know.
Adam Levine is always a consistent.
That's Maroon 5 guy.
Maroon 5 guy, and then Blake Shelton, country guy. Blech. And then they switched the other two. Like this season, it's Alicia Keys and Kelly Clarkson. So.
Interesting.
But I like music and I like singing, and I'm envious. I wish I could sing. So I think that's kind of like why I gravitate to it. Other than that, my guilty pleasure for real. I like some anime. Like I'm kind of a geek like that. So I have watched.
One of my good friends is really into that, but
I'm not like crazy. Like I'm scared to say that on stream, because if you say it on stream, then like people that are hardcore like will just go crazy,
right? And
they'll start like trying to song request anime music like the whole night and talking about stuff that I have no idea what they're talking about. Sure. But I do enjoy it every now and then.
Right on. Nerd.
Yeah, nerd. And then the last
our Diablo podcast, nerd.
I know. The last question of the night. Paul 1913 says, with a rinse and repeat of how much drain is on the D3 community, is it the final nail in the coffin? Community's upset right now.
Yeah.
Final nail? Nah. They'd bounce back if they give us some nice balance patch or they drop another class DLC.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Yeah. And I don't think either of us, as bad as it gets, say that it is the nail in the coffin. Like neither of us are the kind of guys that are going to be like, you know what? Like, fuck you, Diablo. We're done.
Yeah. I think it's hard. This is the most negative I've ever seen the community.
Yeah.
In my history of being a member of the community, which is pretty much the whole 6 years. I think when
bots originally came out, but yeah.
Yeah. It's had bad times, but at least in recent memory, this is the most negative I've seen. It seems like most of the threads are like, they just want communication. They want, give me something, know? And I think people are cannibalizing, but I think if we get a little positivity, like a little announcement of something like Diablo 4 or anything to give the community something to feed on, they'll be fine.
Yeah, so, I agree.
That's it, guys. That's it.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging out. You can catch me if you want to see more of me. I stream 7 days a week at twitch.tv/ThaPChild. I also have a YouTube channel. You can search for ThaPChild or hit me up on Twitter at ThaPChild.
Right on. I'm twitch.tv/Lord_Fluffy and double those underscores on Twitter.
There you go. You can catch this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and live on Twitch every Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Everywhere.
So
soon on Times Square. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, dudes.
Peace
out.